In this songwriting lesson for guitar players, you learn how to write very cool songs in less than 5 minutes. It's very fast, it's very easy. So I'm going to teach you easy ways to use simple polymeter. Don't worry, it's not hard. Polymeter sounds like a big word. It's very simple, it's easy, but it sounds awesome. You're also about to learn how to use a music theory concept that I call modulating pitch function. That term sounds complex, but it's very simple to learn and easy to use. When I started writing my own songs, I didn't want them to sound so simple, and I always look for more sophisticated or more advanced ways to write music. And while there are some great advanced ideas that you can use, sometimes layering simple ideas on top of each other can give you that sophisticated sound, yet is really easy to create great songs very quickly. Now, I've taught these cool songwriting tips to hundreds and hundreds of my students over the years, and the results for them have been incredible. So today is your turn. Go grab your guitar and let's get started. All right, so this first example, I'm going to show you a very simple pattern. And once we put it to the backing track and we pay attention to the rhythm or what's going on here, it's going to be more sophisticated than how it looks. So on paper, you see it. We just have these three notes: B, D sharp, and E. Okay, and we're going to play those in groups of three. But notice I am not playing eighth note triplets. It's not one triplet, two triplet, three. No. It's simply eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I don't recommend to count it that way for now. If this is new to you, this polymeter stuff is new. We're really playing a 3 against 4 polymeter here. That's really what's happening here, okay? So we're playing eighth notes, straight eighth notes, not eighth note triplets. But it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and etc. But it's easier if you just count it this way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just don't start playing triplets. So you'll see in just a moment how that works. The second thing that's going on is that these notes are going to sound good in combination with any chord in the key of E major or C sharp minor. That's the key we're in. So in the backing track you're about to hear in just a minute, there's going to be a bunch of different chords. The chords is going to change a bunch of times. I don't even remember what chords I created. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that no matter what the chord is, this works over all of them and it sounds cool. So when we play, for example, the E chord, and you hear this over it, it sounds and feels a certain way. But when another chord is played in the key, let's say C sharp minor, and you hear this over that, it feels different. And then when the next chord is played, let's say a B or an A or an F sharp minor, doesn't really matter, the feeling of this changes. And that is called modulating pitch function. It's a term I created simply to describe something that's existed for centuries, okay? Where the feeling, the function of the notes change because the relationship against the chord that's being played changes, and that's what creates a different emotion. So let's hear the backing track, and then we will go ahead and get started. We can do this all day, and it sounds cool over every chord in the key. Okay, so what we've got there is the modulating pitch function is happening, and then we got the polyrhythm happening too. And those two concepts make this super simple little thing sound as if there's a lot more going on than there really is. And you can't screw it up. It doesn't matter what chord you play, as long as you stay in the key, anything is going to sound cool. So you can have a lot of fun. You can create lots of cool stuff with this very quickly. Now for this next example, let's do the same thing but slow everything down. So instead of playing eighth notes this way, let's just make it quarter notes. Exactly the same thing, we're just playing twice as slow. Let's hear it with the backing track. So it works over all the chords. Sounds really cool. Doesn't matter what chord is being played in the key. It works every time. We still have a polymeter here. We're still basically playing 3/4 against 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. While the bass and the drums and the other stuff in the backing track is playing in 4/4. So still 3 against 4. And it's just slowed down. Super easy to play. Sounds cool. Any beginner could learn to play this and have someone else play chords, and you got an immediate song instantly. So now in this next example, let's take our little pattern and just move it up from fret 4 to fret 9 and do exactly the same thing. So again, we're playing groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We are not playing eighth note triplets. That's critical. Otherwise, you don't have a polymeter here. So still 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and still that. You can count it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 if you want. That's what I do. But it doesn't really matter as long as you know that you're playing eighth notes. And again, the backing track is going to change chords to whatever chords are in the key. Doesn't even matter. Everything's going to sound good the whole time. So let's hear that with the track. All right, so again, you hear that it works over all the chords. You cannot screw it up. Anything you play, any chord progression you come up with, as long as you're in the key, it's gonna work. It's gonna sound cool, and you can create an immediate song using this stuff. It's real cool. So now let's hear the same thing as quarter notes. Still works. Okay, so again, you can play it fast, you can play it slow, you can play it in a combination. The modulating pitch function is still working. The polymeter is, again, still working. Before we go any further, if you've ever experienced writer's block, when trying to write songs, you grab your guitar or a piece of paper and a pen and you don't know what to do, I've got a really cool video on YouTube. It's pretty long, but there's a lot of great tips there. It's called How to Overcome Writer's Block for Songwriters. Check it out on YouTube. So now let's alter our pattern a little bit from 9-9-0 to 9-12-0, or if you prefer E, B, and open E. And let's hear how that sounds with our track. Works every time. Okay, so again, we can't screw it up. Like, just play the little 3 notes and it's cool every single time. All right, now let's take the same pattern and slow it down to quarter notes, and let's see what that sounds like. Again, still works. Okay, so No, you, again, can't screw it up. It's cool every single time. Before we get into the next set of examples, there is a really cool video on YouTube. It's not one of mine. It's by Tommaso Zilio. It's called How to Get More Ideas to Finish a Song. Check it out. It will give you a ton of cool ideas, and you can use what you're learning now in my video with the ideas that he shares, and it will just open up a lot of cool doors for you. All right, now let's change up the pattern one more time, and let's play G sharp on the G string, so fret 13. And then we'll play D sharp on the second string, fret 16, and then the high E string open. Sounds a little dissonant by itself. Check it out with the track and you'll see that it sounds really good. Okay, so this is a little bit more dissonant than the others, but it still sounds cool. You can also do it an octave lower. It's much darker down there. It's pretty bright up here. But again, it's going to work with every chord in the key every single time. Now let's take the same thing and slow it down. You will hear that the dissonance is a little bit stronger because we're playing slower. So let's hear it with the track and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, so the dissonance is a little stronger. I still like the sound. Actually, I love that sound. You may or may not like it, but it's pretty cool. Check it out, fast or slow, and see if you can make it work. All right, so let's talk for a moment about how do you practice this stuff? How would you use it? How to write the cool songs fast? Well, with these easy songwriting tips, all we're really doing here is we're taking an easy pattern. We're using two concepts essentially, modulating pitch function, and we're using some polymeter. Now, you don't have to use both at the same time. We could have only done a modulating pitch function, and that still would have worked. So one way you can do that is if you made a 4 pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, that is not polymeter. It would work just as a regular in 4/4. It's not as cool in my opinion, but maybe you like it better and that's okay. So you can do it using just modulating pitch function or just the polyrhythm where you don't have modulating pitch function. But when you put the two together, it's really easy to create simple ways to write songs and write them quickly, and they sound pretty cool. Now, the examples that I had given you were all in a major key, so they sound kind of more uplifting, etc. But you could do this in a minor key and make things really, really dark. So if you like the sound of minor better and you like darkness, you can easily do that in a minor key or in Phrygian or something else where, you know, the mode is pretty dark. So don't feel afraid to experiment, have a lot of fun with this, and you take simple sounds and you make them sound sophisticated or advanced or complex. If you like my videos on YouTube, you'll love my personalized breakthrough guitar lessons. I'm going to show you exactly how to transform your guitar playing from being just sort of okay to being really awesome so you have a lot of fun. Even if you're stuck right now or if you have self-doubts about your ability to learn and play, imagine how much better your guitar playing is going to become when you know exactly what to do and exactly how to practice it. And you have the guidance and the roadmap to get you there. Now, I've done this for thousands of people over the years. If you do the work, if you'll commit at least 30 minutes a day to the things I'm showing you, I'm absolutely certain, I'm completely confident, I know I can help you become the player you want to be, if you're willing to do the work there. Now, unlike other lessons, you're not going to get generic cookie cutter lessons from me. You get lessons customized to you, who you are, what your goals are, your challenges, your strengths, your weaknesses, your learning style, experience, frustrations, and most importantly, who you want to become. So check out my breakthrough guitar lessons at tomhess.net/guitar and see if they're right for you. I'll see you on the other side.